Shikha live on Facebook. It is showing.
Yeah, okay.
Good afternoon, Geeta ma'am.
Good afternoon, Namaskar.
We are just about to begin. We are waiting for Pani sir to join.
Sure.
So we already have around 137 participants.
So, Professor Sangeeta, can we start? Because meantime, Professor Balram Pani is with the Honorable Vice Chancellor. So, as soon as he gets free, I think he will join. So, we can start our program.
So, we'll just wait for a minute and we start. Just a minute and we start.
Since Professor Gupta and Geeta ji has joined, so we can start, I suppose.
Yeah. Just a minute.
Because they're all busy in some other activities.
Yes, I understand.
I think we should start.
Yes.
Sangeeta ji, please start it.
Okay, sir. Just a minute. Yes. So I think we are good to go. So let's start. Please start the recording as well, Hema.
Will the Hema start?
Yes. Let's start.
Admission, a new adventure for a new mission. A gateway to taking one step ahead towards your dreams. A very warm good evening to everyone present here. I, Hema Nagpal, faculty member of Sri Aurobindo College, welcome you all to this webinar on Decoding Admissions 2021-22, University of Delhi. I will be coordinating the event along with my colleague, Dr. Shikha Naran. Just a piece of information before we kickstart the event. Today's event is recorded for future reference and is also telecasted live on the Facebook page of the college. The same shall be uploaded later on the official YouTube channel of Sri Aurobindo College. The pandemic has brought about twists and turns in our daily life that have been beyond the ambit of our wildest imagination. From the last year, we have all been through quite a bit of fluctuations here and there. But by the end of it, where on some parts we're still progressing and learning, on others we are comparatively a little more prepared to face the adversities of these difficult times. Education is one such arena. Needless to say, we are battling with a lot of constraints and online issues. But education has been one area that has exhibited immense versatility and adaptability over the last year. The technical orientation of the admission process has also been scaled up. In fact, the reason behind today's gathering is especially to bring about a confidence in our young aspirants who intend to embark on a new journey of their life with the university. We here at the university, be it our non-teaching fraternity, our faculty members of different colleges, and even our principals and senior authorities and dignitaries at the universities, we're all willing to help you, guide you, and smoothen out the process of this phase of transition amidst this chaos. To elucidate today's fact, this webinar perhaps poses a perfect example. While we have an eminent set of personalities who are focusing on the clarification of issues pertaining to the admission process on one hand, on the other hand, we have large set of keen and inquisitive aspirants, not only as attendees on Zoom platform, but also live with us on Facebook page. And with that, before I really progress ahead, it would be perhaps an incomplete opening to a webinar without acknowledging the presence of eminent personalities who have agreed to take out time out of their busy schedule and brace the aspirants with the information pertaining to admissions and clarifying their doubts and issues. We have with us today Professor Balaram Pani, Dean of Colleges, University of Delhi, Professor Rajiv Gupta, Chairman Admissions, Professor Pinky Sharma, Dean of Admissions, Professor Geeta Bhatt, Director, NC Web, Professor Vipin Kumar Agarwal, Principal, Sri Aurobindo College. Ma'am and sir, we extend a very warm welcome to you and express our sincere gratitude for gracing the occasion with your presence. The organizing team behind today's event is none other than Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Sri Aurobindo College, University of Delhi. It is noteworthy to highlight that the IQAC, under the mentorship of our principal, Professor Vipin Kumar Agarwal, and convenership of Professor Sangeeta Kaul, has worked relentlessly to ensure that in no way the ongoing pandemic should or could interrupt the process of extracurricular activities as well as the teaching process. There have been immense amount of regular training programs for both the students and the faculty. In fact, today's webinar is simply an extension of supporting and guidance tool for the future members of this university. I would also like to thank our principal, Professor Vipin Kumar Agarwal, our IQAC convener, Professor Sangeeta Kaul, and also Professor Meeta Mathur, the webinar coordinator, who worked together to make this event a huge success. With this, I would also like to tell you that we almost have more than 200 participants already with us, and we have probably more than 250 registrations and more questions pouring in as we are conducting our event right now. With the due permission of the distinguished speakers and the house, I would now like to begin the event officially by inviting our first guest for the session today, Professor Balaram Pani. Professor Balaram Pani is Dean of Colleges, University of Delhi, and
just a minute. Sorry for interruption. Has Professor Pani has joined?
Yes.
He was about to join.
Sir.
He has joined. Right?
Yes, sir. He has joined. Yes, sir. He has joined.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Yes. Professor Balaram Pani is the Dean of Colleges, University of Delhi, and Director of Campus of Open Learning. He is also Principal of Bhaskaracharya College of Applied Sciences, University of Delhi. He has obtained his PhD from Jawaharlal Nehru University. Dr. Pani has more than 20 years of experience in research and teaching in the field of chemistry and environmental sciences. In fact, he's authored various books on environmental science and engineering chemistry, which have been adopted by various universities and engineering and science colleges. Sir, it has indeed been an honor for us that you're here. I'm sure young minds are perhaps keen to listen to your words of wisdom.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
And Professor Bipin Agrawal ji, Sangeeta Kaul ji, and Professor Rajiv Gupta is also there. And my dear colleagues and student friends. And today it is all about the admission. Means this time it is with the dynamic leadership of Professor Rajiv Gupta. Means everything is running well. Means whatever in the previous years, whatever the covered, hope it will also run in that manner. Means whatever the suggestion given by the students, but to some extent, we can help them, but otherwise, we don't have any hassle this time also. And wherever, if there is any need, then all the university staff, they are here to help you out. And definitely it will be a great achievement of the Delhi University. Means for the first time, means this time means the number of the queries are very, very less in comparison to the previous years. So every year we are improving, and it is under the leadership of the constant leadership of Professor Rajiv Gupta and his team. And there are also Professor Pinky Sarmaji, which says that in the admission section, and say everything has been taken care of, and definitely will do better. And if there will be anything, then you can give the suggestion to us, then definitely we'll incorporate it. And Professor Rajiv Gupta is here. I will not take much time, and he is competent enough to explain everything. And you have invited me for this program, so I'm thankful to you all, and I wish you all the best for this program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. It is perhaps always an encouraging factor to listen to you. A few instructions to our participants before we embark on this journey for our next one are, you're requested to pitch in your questions in the question answer panel that is given right at the bottom of your screen on the Zoom platform. For those of you who've connected with us on Facebook, you can drop in your questions there. We'll try and pick up as many questions as possible. All depends on the available time and the time that the time that is available with us. Also, this event will be recorded and will be uploaded on YouTube for future purposes. Just a reminder, please stick to asking questions only related to University of Delhi admissions. We won't be able to entertain any other questions or questions related to any other university. I would now request my colleague, Dr. Shikha Narang, to invite our guest for the next speaker and also jointly moderate the event with me. Over to you, Shikha.
Thank you, Hema. Our next eminent speaker for the event is Professor Rajiv Gupta, Chairperson Admissions. Professor Rajiv Gupta obtained his PhD in 2000 from Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, and did his postdoctoral work at the University of Kansas, USA. He joined the University of Delhi in 2003 and has been working as a professor since 2009. Professor Gupta's research group works on several interdisciplinary fields. He has published diversified research papers in the leading international journals of high scientific repute, and his work has been widely cited. He has delivered several invited and popular talks in various national and international conferences, and his research is well supported by the national funding agencies. He takes immense interest in teaching and mentoring students. He is the recipient of Bronze Medal in 2016 from the Chemical Research Society of India and Science Flame Award in 2015 from the World Science Congress. And so, in fact, the list is pretty long. Sir, we look forward to listening to you and seeking your guidance on the admissions 2021-22.
Thank you very much. सबसे पहले तो मैं हमारे मित्र और कोलीग प्रोफेसर विपिन अग्रवाल और कॉलेज की पूरी टीम को धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं कि आज आपके माध्यम से हमारे जो छात्र और छात्राएं जो इस कार्यक्रम में जुड़े हुए हैं उनसे शायद जुड़ने का मौका दिया। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं। दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय जो कि देश का एक बड़ा महान और प्रतिष्ठित विश्वविद्यालय है, हम अपने 100वें वर्ष में प्रवेश करने वाले हैं। इसकी नींव 1922 में रखी गई थी और आने वाले वर्ष में ये हमारा शताब्दी वर्ष होगा। मुझे लगता है कि इन शब्दों के साथ मैं आज का थोड़ा सा जो आपके साथ इंटरेक्शन है उसको शुरू करना चाहता हूँ। इस शताब्दी वर्ष में जैसे हम उत्साहित हैं, हम भी चाहते हैं कि हमारे जो आने वाले छात्र छात्राएं हैं जो भारतवर्ष के विभिन्न कोनों से हमारे यहाँ प्रवेश की प्रक्रिया में आते हैं, उनका भी मैं इस माध्यम से आपके कॉलेज के माध्यम से मैं स्वागत करता हूँ। दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय जैसे मैंने कहा था 1922 में शुरू हुआ, एक बड़ा और महान विश्वविद्यालय। हमारे विश्वविद्यालय के अंदर 91 महाविद्यालय हैं, 16 संकाय हैं और करीब 88 विभाग हैं। इसके अलावा 11 सेंटर्स हैं। 2 हमारे अलग तरह के एजुकेशनल सेंटर्स है, उसमें नॉन कॉलेजिएट वुमेन एजुकेशन बोर्ड है। डॉक्टर गीता भट्ट जी हमारे साथ जुड़ी हुई है जो आपको एनसीवेब के बारे में थोड़ा बेहतर जानकारी देंगी। ये दिल्ली प्रदेश में रहने वाली छात्राओं को शिक्षा उपलब्ध कराता है शनिवार और इतवार के दिन हमारे अपने जो कुछ महाविद्यालय उसके अंदर। इसके अलावा हमारे विश्वविद्यालय के अंदर स्कूल ऑफ ओपन लर्निंग है जो एक पत्राचार के माध्यम से शिक्षा प्रदान कराता है। ये आपको मैं शुरुआत में इसलिए बताना चाहता हूँ कि अक्सर एडमिशंस प्रोसेस के दौरान ये आता है कि शायद हमारे कट ऑफ लिस्ट में नाम नहीं आ पाएगा तो हमारे पास और क्या ऑप्शंस हैं। मुझे लगता है कि सभी को जानकारी होनी चाहिए कि दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय में हमारे 91 महाविद्यालयों के अलावा भी कुछ और सेंटर्स हैं जहां पर आप अपनी शिक्षा प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। जहां तक कि प्रवेश प्रक्रिया है, इसके 2 भाग हैं। मैं पहले थोड़ा सा स्नातक स्तर, क्योंकि कॉलेज के अंदर ओपन डेज चल रहा है तो उसके बारे में मैं थोड़ा सा जानकारी आपको विस्तार से देना चाहूंगा। स्नातक स्तर की जो प्रवेश प्रक्रिया है इसके 2 भाग हैं। इसमें पहला भाग आवेदन प्रक्रिया है, रजिस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस जो हमने अभी 2 अगस्त से शुरू किया है, ये 31 अगस्त तक चलेगा। उसके पश्चात जो प्रवेश की प्रक्रिया वो शुरू होगी। अभी बता पाना मुश्किल है कि जो प्रवेश की प्रक्रिया कब से शुरू होगी, लेकिन हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि सितंबर माह के मध्य से हम प्रवेश की प्रक्रिया शुरू करेंगे। जो ये पूरा रजिस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस और एडमिशन प्रोसेस है पूरी तरीके से ऑनलाइन बनाया गया है। इस बार हमारे जो दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय का कंप्यूटर सेंटर है उसने बहुत मेहनत करके एक ऑनलाइन पोर्टल डेवलप किया है। आप सबको मैं इस बात की जानकारी देना चाहता हूं और आपको मैं आमंत्रित करता हूं कि आप उस पोर्टल में जाएं और थोड़ी सी उस पर थोड़ा समय अपना व्यतीत करें तो आपको पता चलेगा कि इस पोर्टल के माध्यम से हमने प्रवेश से संबंधित लगभग सब तरह की जानकारियां उपलब्ध कराई हैं। जो प्रवेश प्रक्रिया है पूरी तरीके से ऑनलाइन है। आप में से किसी भी छात्र या छात्रा को किसी भी महाविद्यालय या किसी भी विभाग या संकाय में जाने की जरूरत नहीं है। आप अपने घर पर बैठ के पूरी प्रवेश की प्रक्रिया सुचारू रूप से पूर्ण कर सकते हैं। इसके अलावा 1-2 चीजें और आपके सम्मुख में प्रस्तुत करना चाहता हूं ताकि जो प्रवेश की प्रक्रिया है उसके संबंधित आपको कम से कम कठिनाई का अनुभव हो। पहली बात है कि जो पोर्टल है वो बहुत इंटरेक्टिव तरीके से इसको बनाया गया है। आपकी अधिकतर जानकारियां प्रवेश से संबंधित, आपके जो महाविद्यालय हैं उनसे संबंधित, आपके कोर्सेज से संबंधित, यहाँ तक कि कितनी सीट उपलब्ध है और कितनी किसी कोर्स की फीस है, ये सब भी हमने कोशिश करी है कि जानकारी हम उपलब्ध कराएं आप इस पोर्टल के माध्यम से। इसके अलावा पोर्टल पर बुलेटिन ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन है इस बुलेटिन ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन को भी आप डाउनलोड करिए और उसको थोड़ा सा आप उसके बारे में अध्ययन करिए। ये आपको मैं इसलिए सुझाव देना चाहता हूँ कि जब आप रजिस्ट्रेशन की प्रक्रिया शुरू करें तो उसके पहले अगर आप पोर्टल पे थोड़ा सा समय व्यतीत करेंगे और बुलेटिन ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन को पढ़कर एक चेकलिस्ट बनाएंगे तो शायद आपके लिए रजिस्ट्रेशन का प्रोसेस बहुत आसान रहेगा। कुछ दो चार और महत्वपूर्ण बिंदु है उनके बारे में भी ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहता हूँ, क्योंकि जो पूरी प्रक्रिया है वो ऑनलाइन है, तो आपको जितने भी डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं उनको स्कैन करके अपलोड करने की जरूरत पड़ेगी। तो जब आप चेकलिस्ट बनाएं तो उसमें ये भी जानकारी अपने सम्मुख रखें कि कौन कौन से डॉक्यूमेंट्स आपको स्कैन करके रखना है। इसके अलावा उस स्कैन डॉक्यूमेंट का साइज कितना है, ये एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण जानकारी है, क्योंकि अक्सर ऐसा होता है कि छात्र या छात्राएं जब मोबाइल फोन से किसी पिक्चर लेते हैं, इसको स्कैन करके पीडीएफ में सेव करते हैं, तो उसका जो साइज है डॉक्यूमेंट का वो काफी ज्यादा हो जाता है। तो आप उस पर भी थोड़ा जानकारी रखें कि कितना मैक्सिमम डॉक्यूमेंट का जो साइज है वो आपको अपलोड करने के समय पर अलाउड रहेगा, उसको भी थोड़ा सामने रखें। कौन कौन से डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं जिनकी आपको आवश्यकता पड़ेगी, उसमें एक है आपका जो फोटोग्राफ है उसको आपको स्कैन करके रखना पड़ेगा, एक आपका सिग्नेचर है जिसको आपको स्कैन की जरूरत पड़ेगी। इसके अलावा एकेडमिक क्रेडेंशियल्स हैं, इसका मतलब है कि क्लास 12th जहां सर आपने किया है वहां पर आपको जो मार्कशीट या सर्टिफिकेट मिला है उसकी आपको एक स्व हस्ताक्षरित कॉपी स्कैन करके रखना पड़ेगा। इसके अलावा अगर आप में से कुछ लोग किसी खास कैटेगरी से आते हैं तो कैटेगरी का सर्टिफिकेट भी आपको स्कैन करके अपने साथ रखना पड़ेगा। इन सब चीजों की जानकारियां आप अपने सम्मुख रख लें, कोशिश करें कि एक छोटी सी चेकलिस्ट बना दें, उसके बाद आप रजिस्ट्रेशन का प्रोसेस करें तो सब कम से कम आपको दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ेगा। इसके अलावा एक और महत्वपूर्ण जानकारी आपसे साझा करना चाहता हूँ, ये जो पूरा एडमिशन का पोर्टल है ये मोबाइल फ्रेंडली बनाया गया है। हमने पिछले कुछ वर्षों में देखा है कि करीब 70 से 75% छात्र और छात्राएं मोबाइल फोन का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, न केवल वेबसाइट पर जाने का बट इसके अलावा जो एडमिशन या रजिस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस है उसको संपूर्ण करने के लिए वो अपने मोबाइल फोन का इस्तेमाल करते हैं। इसी बात को ध्यान में रखते हुए हमने पोर्टल को डेवलप किया, तो आपको मोबाइल से भी रजिस्ट्रेशन पूरा कर सकते हैं। इसके अलावा मोबाइल से ही आप एडमिशन प्रोसेस भी कर सकते हैं। तो ये जरूरी जानकारी। इसके अलावा एक और महत्वपूर्ण पहलू है जिस पर आपका ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहूंगा। कुछ हमारे छात्र किन्हीं वजहों से साइबर कैफे या इंटरनेट कैफे पर जाते हैं। कोशिश करें कि आप अपने घर पर मोबाइल फोन, कंप्यूटर, लैपटॉप, टैबलेट इनका उपयोग करके करें, क्योंकि साइबर कैफे पर या जब आप इंटरनेट कैफे पर जाते हैं तो वहां पर एक दो चीजों की दिक्कतें आप महसूस कर सकते हैं। जब आप पेमेंट के लिए जाएंगे तो ऐसा हो सकता है कि इंटरनेट कैफे वाला आपसे कहे कि आप मुझे कैश में दे दीजिए और मैं अपना क्रेडिट कार्ड से आपका पेमेंट कर दे रहा हूँ। कोशिश करिए कि इस तरीके की चीजें ना हो, क्योंकि जो आरबीआई है, रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया है, उसकी काफी सख्त गाइडलाइंस है। उन गाइडलाइंस के हिसाब से अगर रिफंड आता है तो वो रिफंड केवल उसी कार्ड या उसी माध्यम में भेजा जाएगा या उसी बैंक अकाउंट में भेजा जाएगा जहां से आपने फीस का पेमेंट किया है। तो ये बहुत जरूरी जानकारी है जिसको आप अपने सामने रखते हैं। एक दो चीजें और बताना चाहूंगा। रजिस्ट्रेशन के दौरान आप अपना ईमेल एड्रेस यूज करें। अगर आप साइबर कैफे में भी जा रहे हैं और अगर साइबर कैफे का व्यक्ति आपसे कहता है कि मैं अपना ईमेल एड्रेस देना चाहता हूं तो वो बिल्कुल ना खोने दें, आप अपना ईमेल एड्रेस दें। साथ ही साथ अपने फोन नंबर का उपयोग करें। अगर किसी वजह से आपके पास अपना फोन नंबर नहीं है तो आप अपने अभिभावकों का या अपने माता पिता का फोन नंबर दें, क्योंकि अगर विश्वविद्यालय अगर आपको किसी तरीके की जानकारी आपके पास भेजना चाहता है, शायद एसएमएस के माध्यम से या ईमेल के माध्यम से, तो वो जानकारी आपके पास नहीं पहुंचेगी। तो ये बहुत जरूरी चीज है। इसके अलावा जो पेमेंट है, चाहे वो आप रजिस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस के दौरान पेमेंट करें या जब आप एडमिशन की प्रक्रिया पूर्ण करेंगे तो उस समय दाखिला लेने के पहले भी आपको कॉलेज की फीस का पेमेंट करना पड़ेगा। तो कोशिश करें कि अपने माध्यम से, चाहे वो क्रेडिट कार्ड हो, डेबिट कार्ड हो या बैंक ट्रांसफर हो, उसके माध्यम से आप जो फीस पेमेंट है वो करें। साइबर कैफे अगर आपको किसी मजबूरी बस वहां जाना पड़ रहा है तो उनके कहने में ना आए, आप अपने माध्यम का उपयोग करें। इसके अलावा जो पोर्टल है इस बार हमने आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की मदद लेते हुए चैट बॉट को इसमें हमने इंक्लूड किया है। इसके माध्यम से अगर आप कुछ जानकारी चाहते हैं, आपके अंदर अगर कुछ सवाल हैं तो आप चैट बॉट के माध्यम से आप वो सवाल पूछ सकते हैं और वो जो कीवर्ड्स हैं जो कुछ मुख्य कीवर्ड्स हैं उसके बेसिस पे आपको तुरंत एक जवाब मिलता है। इसके अलावा हमारे वॉलंटियर्स हैं, एडमिशन ब्रांच के सदस्य हैं, वो भी लगभग पूरे दिन बैठकर आपकी जो समस्याएं हैं उनके कोशिश करते हैं कि उन समस्याओं का वो निदान कर सकें, आपको कुछ जवाब दे सकें। तो वो भी हमारी वॉलंटियर्स की टीम आपके सहायता के लिए हर समय उपलब्ध रहेगी। इसके अलावा जैसे कि आज हमारे कॉलेज में इस ओपन डेज का जो आज किया गया है, मुझे लगता है कि ये बहुत अच्छी पहल है। हमारे जितने भी महाविद्यालय हैं वो हमारे साथ मिलकर ही काम करते हैं। उनके माध्यम से मैं ये भी कहना चाहता हूँ कि अगर कॉलेज अपनी तरफ से एक ऑनलाइन हेल्प डेस्क बना सके, जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं शायद किसी कारणवश उनको कुछ कठिनाइयों का सामना करना पड़ रहा है, अगर वो किसी कारणवश हमारे जो सेंट्रल एडमिशन पोर्टल है या सेंट्रल एडमिशन ऑफिस है उससे किसी कारणवश अगर वो जानकारी प्राप्त नहीं कर पा रहे हैं तो कॉलेज के माध्यम से वो जानकारी प्राप्त करें। मैं अनुरोध करूंगा प्रोफेसर विपिन अग्रवाल से कि वो अपने कॉलेज में भी एक ऑनलाइन पोर्टल या ऑनलाइन हेल्प डेस्क का एक संयोजन करें जो छात्रों और छात्राओं की मदद के लिए कार्य करेगी। लगभग मैंने आपको सब कुछ बताया है। इसके अलावा हमारे कुछ डेडिकेटेड ईमेल एड्रेसेस हैं, कुछ फोन नंबर्स हैं, उनके माध्यम से भी हम कोशिश करते हैं कि आपके जो कुछ कठिनाइयों का सामना करना पड़ रहा है उसको आप कम से कम कठिनाइयां आपके सामने आए। एक और विषय वस्तु आपके सामने लाना चाहता हूँ कि जब आप एडमिशन प्रोसेस कंप्लीट करेंगे तो उसमें हमारे पोर्टल पर एक सवाल जवाब वर्णिका भी है, क्वेश्चन आंसर, इसको फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चंस कहते हैं। आप उसमें भी जाएं, उस सेक्शन में भी जाएं और जानकारी हासिल करें कि कौन कौन से सवाल काफी सारे छात्र और छात्राएं पिछले वर्षों में पूछते आए हैं। इन सवाल और जवाब के माध्यम से काफी सारी क्वेरीज जो आपके मन में है या सवाल जवाब आपके मन में है उनका आपको शायद हो सकता है निवारण हो सकेगा। आपको शायद अलग से किसी सवाल को पूछने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय में आप सभी का स्वागत करता हूं और उम्मीद करता हूं कि आप हमारे साथ छात्र के रूप में जुड़े और इस विश्वविद्यालय को और आगे की तरफ लेके जाएं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure that the young aspirants who are seeking admission this time have gained in depth insight of the process and already have their queries answered to a large extent. A reminder to the aspirants, you are requested to pitch in your questions here in the question answer panel given at the bottom of your screen on the Zoom platform. Those aspirants who are connected with us through Facebook can mention their questions in the comment section of Facebook. We will try and cover as many questions as possible, depending on the availability of the time at our disposal. Also, please ensure that queries are related to admissions in the University of Delhi only. Without taking further time, I would now like to invite our next panelist for the occasion, Professor Geeta Bhatt, Director NC Web. Professor Bhatt is PhD from University of Mumbai and has been associated with University of Delhi as a professor. At present, she is an elected member of the Academic Council of University of Delhi. She has about 20 years of teaching experience. She has published several research papers and edited 2 books. She has also authored 2 books titled Experiments Based on Analog and Digital Electronics and MATLAB Essentials for Problem Solving. She is also a recipient of a Meritorious Teachers Award from Department of Higher Education, Delhi Government in 2013. Ma'am, we extend a very warm welcome to you and request you to shed some light on the admission process for the current academic session at NC Web.
Thank you so much, Shikha ji. Well, I would, at the onset, I would like to first of all congratulate and thanks Aurobindo College and Professor Vipin Agarwal ji for thinking of organizing this webinar, which would definitely shed a lot of light on the process of admissions as well as will resolve the queries of the aspirants who want to know that what are the various steps which are involved. मैं एक तो सबसे पहले कहना चाहूँगी इस आवासीय पटल पर हम सभी जो जुड़े हैं वह सारे एस्पिरेंट्स को का अभिनंदन भी करते हैं और साथ ही साथ उनका स्वागत भी करते हैं कि और आशा करते हैं कि वह सब दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय में अपने मनचाहे विषयों में दाखिला ले पाएंगे। प्रोफेसर राजीव गुप्ता जी, डीन स्टूडेंट्स वेलफेयर, उन्होंने ज्यादातर बहुत सारी जो महत्वपूर्ण बातें हैं उनको बड़े ही जिसे कहते हैं कि सिंपल वर्ड्स में, साधारण तरीके से, ताकि सबको समझ में आए, वो बातें उन्होंने आपके सामने रखी हैं कि किस प्रकार से एडमिशन का प्रोसीजर होता है और उसमें क्या क्या जो बातें हैं वह एस्पिरेंट्स को ध्यान में रखने की है। नॉन कॉलेजिएट वुमेन एजुकेशन बोर्ड एक बड़ा विशेष संस्थान है दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय का, और मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी कि पिछले 76 दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय का 100वां वर्ष प्रारंभ होने को है और साथ ही जो नॉन कॉलेजिएट वुमेन एजुकेशन बोर्ड है उसका भी ये 76th ईयर है, जो इसमें हम 1944 से यह जो संस्थान है यह खास करके जो लड़कियां हैं उनको महिलाओं की शिक्षा
Ma'am, you have to unmute yourself. Ma'am, you have to unmute.
I have unmuted myself. Am I audible?
Yeah. Gita ji, clear now. There was some connectivity issue.
जी. Okay. तो नॉन कॉलेजिएट वुमेन एजुकेशन बोर्ड इतने लंबे समय से जो है खास करके लड़कियों को जो किसी न किसी कारण जो रेगुलर कॉलेज नहीं कर पाते हैं, हो सकता है इसके कुछ सामाजिक कारण हो, आर्थिक कारण हो, या ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि कई जो खास करके जो लड़कियां हैं वह साथ में जिनके किसी कारण से वह रेगुलर कॉलेज में जो नहीं जा पा रही हैं, उनके लिए यह एक बड़ा अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है जहां से वह दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय से जुड़कर ग्रेजुएट की डिग्री ले सकती हैं। और एक महत्वपूर्ण जो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात है वह यह है कि जो दिल्ली में रहने वाली लड़कियां हैं वो ही इस संस्थान में नॉन कॉलेजिएट वुमेन एजुकेशन बोर्ड में अप्लाई कर सकती हैं। मतलब दिल्ली में रहने वाली जो लड़कियां, उनके लिए ही प्रावधान है कि वह नॉन कॉलेजिएट वुमेन एजुकेशन बोर्ड से अपनी दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय की डिग्री को ले सकती हैं। और इसके लिए आपको कुछ अलग से नहीं करना है। जो दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय का जो ऑनलाइन एडमिशन दाखिले का जो पोर्टल है जिसमें कि आपने अपने आप को रजिस्टर करना है, उसी पोर्टल में आप अपने आप ही स्वतः ही जो जैसे ही आप फीमेल का ऑप्शन टिक करते हैं और साथ ही जब आप यह बताते हैं कि आपका जो एड्रेस है, रेजिडेंशियल एड्रेस है, वह दिल्ली का है, तो आप स्वतः ही, उसके लिए आपको कुछ अलग से नहीं करना है, आप नॉन कॉलेजिएट का ऑप्शन नॉन कॉलेजिएट का ऑप्शन ऑटोमेटिकली उसमें हो जाता है, तो कुछ भी आपको अलग से करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है। लेकिन हाँ, ये ध्यान रखिएगा कि जब आप अपना रेजिडेंशियल एड्रेस, घर का पता जब आप बता रहे हैं, तो उसका आपके पास प्रूफ जरूर होना चाहिए, क्योंकि जब आप अपना जब रजिस्ट्रेशन के बाद जब दाखिला शुरू होंगे तो उस समय आपसे उसका जो प्रूफ है वह मांगा जाएगा, जहां की यह स्पष्ट रूप से लिखा हो कि आप इस पते पर रहती हैं। तो उसके लिए आपका ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस भी हो सकता है, उसके लिए आपका राशन कार्ड भी हो सकता है, आपका पासपोर्ट भी हो सकता है, आपका आधार कार्ड भी हो सकता है। इनके द्वारा आप अपना रेजिडेंस एड्रेस जो है उसका प्रूफ जो है वो आप दे सकती हैं। साथ ही मैं ये भी बताना चाहूंगी कि जो नॉन कॉलेजिएट वुमेन एजुकेशन बोर्ड है वह उसके 26 सेंटर चलते हैं, जहां की बीए और बीकॉम, यह दो जो कोर्स हैं उन्हें पढ़ाया जाता है। बीए प्रोग्राम और बीकॉम जो है, जिसमें कि औरबिंदो कॉलेज भी हमारा एक सेंटर है और विपिन जी के तत्वावधान में, नेतृत्व में वह सेंटर बहुत अच्छे से वहां औरबिंदो कॉलेज में भी चल रहा है। और यह जितने 26 सेंटर हैं, इनमें लगभग 15,000 से ज्यादा जो पूरी जो सीटें हैं, वह सीटें 15,000 से ज्यादा हैं, जिसमें क्यों सिर्फ दिल्ली में रहने वाली जो विद्यार्थी हैं, जो लड़कियां हैं, उनके लिए है। तो इसमें आप बी और बीकॉम का ऑप्शन है। साथ ही जिस प्रकार से कॉलेजेस अपनी मेरिट लिस्ट निकालते हैं, उसी प्रकार से नॉन कॉलेजिएट वुमेन एजुकेशन बोर्ड भी अपनी मेरिट लिस्ट निकालता है। और इसकी जो कट ऑफ है, वो ज्यादातर जो पहली कट ऑफ आएगी वह जब रेगुलर कॉलेजेस की 3rd कट ऑफ आती है, उसी के साथ हमारी जो एनसीवेब की 1st कट ऑफ आती है। और उस कट ऑफ में जो भी कट ऑफ दी होगी, हर सेंटर की 26 अलग अलग सेंटर हैं, वो सेंटर आप देख सकते हैं। वह हमारा एनसीवेब का जो पोर्टल है उस पे भी आप देख सकते हैं, और साथ ही आप दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय के पोर्टल पे भी उसे देख सकते हैं। और जितने कॉलेज हैं, ये जो 26 कॉलेज हैं दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय के, वही एनसीवेब के सेंटर की तरह काम करते हैं। और यह पूरे दिल्ली में फैले हुए हैं, उत्तर दिल्ली, पश्चिमी दिल्ली, चाहे वो साउथ दिल्ली है और वेस्ट दिल्ली है, सब जगह हमारे सेंटर्स जितने कॉलेजेस हैं उनमें चल रहे हैं। तो आज जैसे आप जानते हैं, कोविड की परिस्थितियों के कारण दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय का जो भी गाइडलाइंस आती हैं, उसी के अनुसार नॉन कॉलेजिएट वुमेन एजुकेशन बोर्ड में भी उसी के अनुसार पढ़ाई होती है। तो अभी आजकल जो तत्कालीन रूप में पढ़ाई जो है वह ऑनलाइन मोड में हो रही है। तो जिस प्रकार से परिस्थितियां होंगी, पढ़ाई उसी प्रकार से चलेगी। लेकिन हाँ, जब ऑफलाइन मोड, जब भी समय आएगा, जब ऑफलाइन मोड होगा, तो उस समय जो कक्षाएं हैं वो इन सेंटर्स में या शनिवार या इतवार, इन्हीं 2 दिन में लगती हैं। तो ये 2 दिन वो है जबकि जो रेगुलर जो कॉलेज चल रहा है उसमें जो रेगुलर विद्यार्थी हैं वो नहीं आते हैं, और इसीलिए चाहे शनिवार या इतवार में से 2 दिन, तो 9 सेंटर हमारे 26 में से 9 सेंटर ऐसे हैं जिनमें कि शनिवार को वैसे क्लास होती है और बाकी सेंटर हैं जिनमें इतवार को होती है। परंतु आजकल क्योंकि कोविड परिस्थितियों के कारण ऑनलाइन माध्यम से क्लास हो रही है, तो उसके लिए शेड्यूल उसी तरह से बनाया गया है। साथ ही मैं ये भी आपको बताना चाहूंगी कि नॉन कॉलेजिएट वुमेन एजुकेशन बोर्ड, जो ऐसी लड़कियां हैं जिन्हें कि किसी रूप से आर्थिक सहायता की भी मदद चाहिए होती है, आर्थिक सहायता चाहिए होती है, उनके लिए भी दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय ने यह प्रावधान किया है कि एनसीवेब लगभग हम 700 लड़कियों को फाइनेंशियल एड भी देते हैं। साथ ही अगर आप हमारा फी स्ट्रक्चर देखेंगे तो एनसीवेब का जो फी स्ट्रक्चर है वो रेगुलर कॉलेजेस के से काफी कम है। यहाँ करीब 3,400 के आसपास की सालाना जो आपको फीस देनी होती है, जो एग्जाम फी है वो अलग से, जैसे बाकी विद्यार्थी देते हैं रेगुलर के, वैसे ही देते हैं। तो फी स्ट्रक्चर भी हमारा काफी कम है। लेकिन इसके अलावा जो रेगुलर जो क्लासेस लगती हैं, उनके साथ साथ विद्यार्थियां जो छात्राएं हैं उनके लिए अलग अलग प्रकार के जो कार्यक्रम है, ताकि उनका एक तरह से होलिस्टिक एक उनको एजुकेशन मिल सके, उसके लिए एक उनका सर्वांग विकास हो सके, इसके लिए साथ ही साथ कई तरह के जो सांस्कृतिक कार्यक्रम है अभी ऑनलाइन पटल के द्वारा या आभासी पटल पर ही हो रहे हैं, और साथ ही अलग अलग तरह के कॉम्पिटिशन्स भी ऑर्गेनाइज सेंटर के द्वारा किए जाते हैं। एक और बात की जो एक तरह से अलग बात है एनसीवेब की, कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंस कोर्सेज से कई बार इस बात को भी लेकर कुछ भ्रम रहता है कि एनसीवेब जो है वो कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंस कोर्सेज के जैसे है, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है। अगर आप कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंस कोर्सेज में, पहली बात की जो भी व्यक्ति पास है उसको दाखिला मिल जाता है, लेकिन नॉन कॉलेजिएट वुमेन एजुकेशन बोर्ड में बाकायदा मेरिट लिस्ट निकलती है, कट ऑफ निकलती है हर सेंटर की, और उसी के द्वारा जो है आपको दाखिला मिलता है। तो इसका मतलब कि जो सीट्स अवेलेबल हैं वह उनकी संख्या जो है वो सीमित है। तो बीए में हर सेंटर में 355 हमारे पास सीटें हैं और बीकॉम में 230 सीटें हैं, और जो रिजर्वेशन पॉलिसी दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय लागू करता है वही एनसीवेब पे लागू होती है। उसी के हिसाब से आप, जैसे अभी राजीव गुप्ता जी इस विषय में बता ही चुके हैं कि आपको जब दाखिले के समय आपको अपने जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स दिखाने होंगे, तो जिनको जो कोई जो रिजर्वेशन के आधार पर लेंगे उन्हें अपना उसी प्रकार का सर्टिफिकेट जो है वो भी अपलोड करना होगा, अपनी मार्कशीट और डेट ऑफ बर्थ के जो सर्टिफिकेट हैं उनके साथ साथ। साथ ही एनसी वेब जो है उसकी हर सेंटर पर लाइब्रेरी का भी प्रावधान किया गया है। तो जो विद्यार्थी हैं, हालांकि आजकल कोविड परिस्थितियां, तो इनमें भी जिन विद्यार्थियों को अगर किताब इस तरह से चाहिए होती है और वो पुस्तकों को लोन पे लेना चाहते हैं, तो उसका भी प्रावधान एनसी वेब सेंटर जो कॉलेजेस में चल रहे हैं उनके द्वारा भी होता है। और यहाँ बोर्ड ऑफिस में भी हमारे यहाँ एक लाइब्रेरी है जिसके भी द्वारा आप अपना ईमेल के द्वारा एक अपना जो है आग्रह डाल सकते हैं और उसके बाद एक समय तिथि दे दी जाती है जब आकर आपके पास आपको अगर कोई पुस्तक चाहिए तो आप उसे इशू करा सकते हैं। तो नॉन कॉलेजिएट वुमेन एजुकेशन बोर्ड एक बहुत ही अच्छा दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय का आप ये कह सकते हैं एक फिलॉन्थ्रोपिक इनिशिएटिव रहा है, जिसमें कि दिल्ली में रहने वाली ऐसी लड़कियां जो कि आगे अपनी पढ़ाई करना चाहती हैं, जो किसी कारणवश या तो जॉब कर रही हैं, नौकरी कर रही हैं और साथ ही साथ अपना ग्रेजुएशन की भी डिग्री करना चाहती हैं, वो एनसी वेब के माध्यम से अपनी पढ़ाई पूरी कर सकती हैं। और इसमें जो है हम जो शिक्षकों को जो अपॉइंट करते हैं वो जिस प्रकार से यूनिवर्सिटी ग्रांट कमीशन और दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय में जिस प्रकार से जो शिक्षकों का अपॉइंटमेंट होता है उसी प्रकार से उसी पूरी जो आउटलाइन है उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए, उन्हीं गाइडलाइंस को ध्यान में रखते हुए यहाँ भी शिक्षकों को नियुक्त किया जाता है, जो कि आपकी जो है आभासी पटल पर आजकल की परिस्थितियों में क्लासेस लेंगे। साथ ही नॉन कॉलेजिएट वुमेन एजुकेशन बोर्ड पर एक पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट सेंटर जो है वो भी हमारा चलता है, जिसमें कि पीजी की क्लासेस, वो एमए की क्लासेस चलती हैं। तो हमारे पास 12 ऐसे कोर्सेज हैं जिनमें से 7 कोर्सेज जो हैं उनमें क्लासेस चलती हैं, जैसे कि एमए हिंदी है, एमए इंग्लिश है, एमए पॉलिटिकल साइंस है, एमए हिस्ट्री है, एमए संस्कृत है और मैथमेटिक्स है। तो इनमें एमए की क्लासेस चल रही हैं और भी बाकी जो सब्जेक्ट्स हैं वो ज्यादातर लैंग्वेजेस के सब्जेक्ट्स हैं। तो अगर उनमें आप जो एप्लीकेशंस अगर आएंगी तो उनके अनुसार दाखिले करे जाएंगे। इसकी भी जो दाखिला लेने की का जो प्रक्रिया है वह प्रक्रिया बिल्कुल दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय का जो पोर्टल है उसी के द्वारा होगी। तो जो पीजी एडमिशंस का पोर्टल है उसी के द्वारा आपने अप्लाई करना है और उसमें जो मेरिट लिस्ट डिपार्टमेंट्स की अलग अलग विभागों की बनती है उसी में एनसी वेब के लिए भी जो है बच्चों को, जैसे आप कॉलेजेस में एडमिशन लेते हैं पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन के लिए रजिस्टर अपने आप को करते हैं, उसी प्रकार से यहाँ भी रजिस्टर करते हैं। तो मैं आशा करूंगी कि आपके मन में जो कुछ एनसी वेब को लेकर अगर कुछ बातें या शंकाएं थी तो वो मैंने दूर करी होंगी, और इसके अलावा भी अगर कोई प्रश्न आपके मन में है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, ma'am. Perhaps I was just looking at the list of questions that we have on, with our registration form, and I think you've already answered most of the questions related to NC Web. We would now move on to the second last segment of the event and invite our principal, Professor Vipin Kumar Agarwal, Sri Aurobindo College, to share his expertise and experience to further elaborate for the aspirants the know-hows of the admission process this year. Professor Vipin Kumar Agarwal is a PhD in the area of finance and has almost covered more than 30 years of experience in teaching and conducting college activities smoothly. He is presently the principal of Sri Aurobindo College and has ensured that college is scaling new heights under his mentorship. We welcome you, sir, and look forward to listening to you.
Thank you, Emma ji. First of all, I would like to thank all our distinguished guests and speakers, Professor Balram Pani, Professor Rajiv Gupta, Professor Geeta Bhatt, and the organizing committee members, our IQAC convener, Dr. Sangeeta Kaul, Dr. Meeta Mathur, coordinator, and Shikha Hema. I would like to thank for giving me this opportunity to speak and interact with the students. First of all, the question comes, why University of Delhi? I would like to make it very clear that this is the only university in the country which is being recognized throughout the world. Being its size, being the age of the university, because as our other speakers told you earlier, that almost we are celebrating our 100th year, means 99 years we are going to complete. This university was established in 1922, and next year we'll be celebrating 100 years of the establishment of this university. if you see the list of the alumni of this university has produced 2 prime ministers of this country. This university has produced various cabinet rank ministers, state rank ministers, chief ministers. Our present Chief Minister of Odisha, J.B. Patnaik ji, is from Delhi University, and various other chief ministers. Our Prime Minister, current Prime Minister, Modi ji, is from the University of Delhi, and various cabinet ministers, even in the current cabinet ministers, are from the University of Delhi. So we take pride in it. And if you go to any part of the world, if you say that you are the product of the University of Delhi, people will recognize your degree. It is a degree which is worth its name. So people are vying for the university of admission, but the seats are limited. There are approximately 70,000 seats in the University of Delhi for all the 3 courses. 3 courses in the sense 3 streams, if I broadly categorize it, in the humanities, commerce, and the science streams. We are having number of courses in all these 3 streams. But since the seats are limited, so all students will not get the opportunity to take admission in the University of Delhi. But you should always try. And this year, as the number of students who have secured more than 95% marks has increased, there is a great likelihood that the percentage of marks of the cutoff will increase further. So it will be difficult for the student to get admission for all the students who vie for the University of Delhi. Nevertheless, as Professor Gupta and Professor Geeta Bhatt said, apart from the regular colleges of the University of Delhi, we have 2 other options, that is Non-Collegiate Women's Education Board and the School of Open Learning. These are the 2 other opportunities, and the degree is same in the sense that whether SOL or Non-Collegiate Women's Education Board, both gives the degree of University of Delhi. So if you don't get the chance to get admission in the regular college, you can get admission there also. And by scoring good marks in the first year, you can get migrated to yourself to the second year in the regular college. Now let me come to the registration process. I would say there are 3 broad parts in the registration process. The very first part is the moment you will go to the site of www.admission.uod.ac.in, and you will go to the portal, and there is 2 things, that is undergraduate and postgraduate admission. You will go to the undergraduate admission portal. And when you log into an undergraduate admission portal, you will have to fill your email ID, which is must, your mobile number, and other details. So a password and login ID will be created. And please do not forget this email ID, because all future communication will be made through this email ID only. So whatever the email ID you use, whichever the email ID you use, please remember it, and please remember your password, and you should continue to use the same mobile number for all admission processes. This is very important. So once you registered your email and your mobile number, then the second part is you fill your personal profile. Personal profile means your name, your father's name, your address, and other details you have to fill. And then you have to upload the different documents. The documents are your 10th class certificate, your 10th class mark sheet. If you want to get admission through some reserve category, that is OBC, SC, ST, EWS, Kashmiri migrant, or any other reserve category, then you have to upload the latest certificate of that. Here, friends, for the last many years, what I'm observing is that students face a lot of problem in OBC certificate and EWS certificate. Why it is so? Because their OBC certificate, which they upload, it is not the current certificate. So please, whenever you upload your OBC certificate, you please get your OBC certificate prepared on 31st March 2021 or after that. Any certificate which has been prepared before 31st March 2021 will not be acceptable at the time of admission. If you have not renewed your OBC certificate non-creamy layer, friends, this is important to understand. You must come under non-creamy layer of the OBC, right? So then only you are eligible for this benefit. So that non-creamy layer OBC certificate must be issued on 31st March or later. What it implies is, even if you have not get your certificate renewed, You apply to it, you apply for it, and then just by applying, you get a slip. You get a slip for applying. And at the time of the registration of admission, you can upload that also. That is also acceptable. But at the time of admission, we will see your certificate, actual certificate of non-creamy layer. Same is the case for the EWS. That EWS certificate must have been issued on 31st March or later, means after that, right? So if there is an old EWS certificate, that will be not acceptable at the time of admission. Every year, we face hundreds of students faces this problem that they have the OBC certificate, but that has not been renewed. So my sincere advice to all my friends who are participant of this program, this webinar, is to please get your OBC certificates renewed. So once you upload your 10th class certificate, 12th class certificate, your OBC, EWS, SC, ST certificate, if you want admission in that category, plus your identity. Your identity means either it may be Aadhaar card, your voter ID card, your PAN card, your passport, your driving license, or if none of these are available with you, your school certificate, school ID, school iCard, that you can also upload. That is also a proof. So after doing all these things, you have already filled your academic credentials, that is your 12th class marks, right? Then the preview column will be opened and you just see your form, complete form. You reread it and you read that form. If that is okay, then pay the required registration fees. For general category students, for OBC students, for EWS students, this fees is 250 rupees. For SC, ST, and PWD candidates, it is 100 rupees. Apart from the merit-based admissions, you are also eligible for admission under the ECA quota and the sports quota. The 5% seats are reserved for sports and extracurricular activities. If you want to get yourself registered for sports and ECA quota, then additional fees has to be paid on the basis of each of the activity which you want to apply. 250 rupees is the fees for each activity, and at the most, you can apply for 3 additional activities. Same is the case with the sports. This year, our sports and admission and ECA admission will not be based on trials. Earlier, we used to admit the students on the basis of trials, but this time we are not doing any trials, only on the basis of your certificates. And the list of certificates are given on the university website and the university information bulletin, that which certificates are having how much weightage. So that is all being given. So on the basis of the certificates and previous 4-year certificate, that is from 1st May 2017 to 31st April 2021, certificates issued during these periods will be acceptable. I'm repeating, 1st April 2017 to 31st April, 1st May 17 to 31st April 2021. Any 5 certificates you can upload. Out of these 5 certificates, 3 best will be taken out of those 5, and the marks will be given on the basis of that, right? So this is admission on the basis of ECA and sports category. Apart from this, there are certain other categories like Kashmiri migrant, person with special abilities, right? And Sikkim students, and all these categories are called supernumerary seats. These are other than our regular seats. In most of the co-ed colleges, 1% extra concession is being given to the girls students. Friends, this is very important to understand. I'm saying in most of the co-ed colleges, when I'm saying most, it doesn't mean all. Approximately 27, 28 colleges, if I'm recollecting properly, 1% extra concession is being given to the girls students for admission. What it means is, supposing for a particular course, the cutoff is 95%, right? So for the girls students, it will be 94%. And this is only in specific colleges, which are co-ed colleges, and the list is given of those colleges which are giving concessions to the girls students. So this is also important. So once you pay the registration fees that is whatever the registration fees. Then the university has not come out with the admission schedule, fixed admission schedule. At this moment, only we are making registration. So you registered in the month of August, right? So September month, admission will start. A few things I would like to advise that almost to start with, university comes out with 5 lists. Let me make it very clear to you all friends. Don't be disheartened by seeing first merit list or second merit list, because we do not have any scientific data on the basis of which we can make out that at what percentage students are interested in taking admission in X college or Y college. The same students have applied for the Shriram College of Commerce, or for that matter, campus colleges or outside campus colleges. Once you fill the admission form, it is applicable for all the courses. It is applicable for all the colleges. Means at the time of filling the forms, you will not be asked to submit the list of colleges and the list of courses. Once you fill the form, you're eligible to get admission in all the courses, providedly you're eligible for that course, and providedly that your merit comes under the merit criteria of the college, right? So you fill the form, you're eligible for all the courses and all the colleges. This is about your registration. I was saying that once the merit list is out, don't be disheartened, right? Because every college, and the rule of the university is, once we put out a cutoff, a particular college put out a cutoff, then whosoever comes under that cutoff, he or she is eligible to get admission in that college. It means there is no first come, first serve basis formula that is being applied. Any student that comes under that cutoff is eligible to get admission. Second important thing is, if you come in a particular cutoff, please don't wait for the next cutoff, because in the next cutoff, we will give chance to the students who are of lesser percentage. You cannot claim that my percentage is higher. You was being given chance in the first cutoff. You didn't come to the college. You didn't seek admission in the first cutoff. So students, supposing for a particular course, a college put out a cutoff as 95%, and your percentage is 94%. The second cutoff is of 94% of that very college. So we will not give chance to the students of 95% plus students. We'll give chance to only those students who have secured 95%, 94%, and less than 95%. If the second cutoff is 94%, so we will admit the students only of 94% and below 95%. Between these percentage, we'll admit the student. So whenever you get a chance in a particular cutoff, please reserve your seat. And in one particular list, you can only get admission once. Means if in the second list, you have taken admission in A college, in the same list, you cannot get admission cancelled in that college and seek admission in other college. In one list, you can take admission only in one college. In the next list, you can cancel your admission from the A college, and then you can seek admission in the B college. This is also very important. So think before taking admission in that very particular college, whether you are interested in taking admission in that college or not. But if you want to get admission in some other college, and in the next list or next to next list, if you get the opportunity, you can seek admission in that college, providedly first you get your admission cancelled from the previous college where you have taken admission. This is also very important. That unless you get your admission cancelled, you will not able to get admission in other college, right? So this is also important, that you get your admission cancelled and the university will charge 1,000 rupees as a cancellation fees, and then you can seek admission in the other college in the next list, not in that same list. In the next list, you can get the admission. When the university will put out a particular cutoff or the list, first cutoff, second cutoff, third cutoff, right? So when you will fill the percentage, your percentage, right? Automatically, which are the colleges in which you can seek admission, that will come, and you can choose a college and you can seek admission, right? So this is the admission process of the University of Delhi. I think because we will continue to organize such webinars. So at the moment, I'm basically focused on the registration process and how you can take admission. I would love to take your questions, and we'll make this program interactive, and whichever the queries you have, I would like to, myself and my team members are willing to take your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I think it does answer again a lot of questions that we've been seeing in our question answer panel and in the chat box also. Just a few questions which I think might probably might have been left out. There is this one query from a student which has come up, and I keep this the entire question answer panel open to the entire house here. So the student has already submitted his form, but has accidentally missed on to filling up the preferences for BMS BBE courses. First thing, and second thing is also ended up not marking a yes option for BTech entrance examination. How should he go about solving this problem of his?
Then he should apply with some other email and other mobile number, right? Because there is a either he can edit it. There is an option of editing it, right? So he can edit this form, or he should use other email and other mobile number for registration of this process.
Sir, can I ask you one question related to this, please?
Yes.
Sir, in case if the student then enters a different mobile number or even if a different mail address, but the roll number would be the same, the class 12. So will that make a difference?
No, not at all. Not at all. Please.
All right.
But I would prefer he should go for the edit option.
Are we expecting a discrepancy option to open up, sir?
Yes.
Because the student has paid the fees.
Yes. There's an edit option. You can always edit it.
All right, sir. So there is one general query related to SC certificate. Can the student upload a 2018 SC certificate?
Yes. SC and ST certificate, there is no limit, there is no time as such. Even if it has been issued 10 years back, it is applicable. Providedly, the name of the student and the parent's name should be the same. There should not be any discrepancy in the name of the student and the parent's name.
All right. So there is this one query that has come up. Probably the student is not really satisfied with his result in one of the papers of the class 12 board. And he's planning to reappear for that paper. But I think that is one of the mandatory papers. So how should he go about applying for his best of 4 in that case?
No. He can always apply to the CBSE for rechecking and all these things, whatever the CBSE procedure is. And 3 days before the admission process, means first list is out, right? Whichever the marks, if supposing he improves his marks or she improves her marks, right? In that case, she can always upload the new marks.
All right.
This is open 3 days before the first list is out.
Okay. Sir, there's one question related to NC Web also actually, which says that this girl has actually asked that she does not have maths, but can she apply for admissions in NC Web in that case?
Why not? Only for BCom honors, right? But NC Web unfortunately doesn't offer BCom honors. For BCom, though there is no compulsion of mathematics paper. You can apply to the NC Web.
Okay. So some students are seeking want to seek some guidance related to papers under for medical students. Could you shed some light on that?
I'm not the right person to answer about the medical. I will not be right because I'm not the right person.
Right. So Shikha, I think my colleague Shikha has a few questions for some students on behalf of some students.
Sir, some student has asked that some students have not got their 12th mark sheet yet. So how can they proceed for the admission?
No, because see, in whole of the August, the registration process is on, right? So they should wait for the 12th class mark sheet. As soon as they get 12th class mark sheet, then only they should apply.
Okay.
Professor Agarwal,
Sir.
one more point which I wanted to clarify, that in such cases, result updation will provide a much larger window. So students who are applying for the improvement, because this year CBSE has also given them an option to reappear in certain examinations in case if they are not happy with their declared results. So we have we have kept all such points in perspective, and these students will be provided an option to update their result, but they will be only provided the option to update result, nothing else. So idea is not to deprive anyone from the admission process. So just why you wanted to clarify.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And sir, the next question, somebody has asked for SC certificate. Can they upload 2018 certificate?
This I've already answered, Shikha. Yes,
Shikha, this is answered. This sir took this question. Sir, there's a question which says that in case if the student covers up or works, gets into BCom honors in the first year, is there a possibility of shifting to SOL in the second and the third year?
Yes. Good thing about the University of Delhi now is that SOL and Non-Collegiate Women's Education Board are also following semester system. Earlier, they were having annual system and the regular colleges were having semester system. Now, SOL and Non-Collegiate Women's Education Board are also following the same semester system. So there is always an opportunity for the student to migrate to the SOL in the second year. Especially the students who are pursuing CA or who want to pursue chartered accountancy, what they do, they get admission in the first year, and in the second year or third year, they get themselves migrated to the SOL. This is possible.
All right. So
and vice versa in the second year.
So there's this one question that has come up a number of times, which says that the student is applied under ECA category, but what if they don't get an admission under ECA category? Can they expect an admission, or can they try for admission in the regular with non-ECA category?
Why not? See, ECA is an additional facility that has been provided to the students. The student should first try in the, if he or she comes in the merit of a college, of the desired college, right? So one should take admission. And I would advise the student not to take the chance. If the student is getting admission on the merit-based admission in some of the college, at least the student should reserve the seats and wait for the ECA admission, because ECA admission takes place later on, right? Not simultaneously, not with the first list or the second list. ECA admission takes a little bit time. So it takes place later on. So then the student can try for the ECA. And applying for the ECA, having the certificate is not the guarantee of getting admission in the ECA.
Right. Sir, there is one technical issue that has been brought up by some students. They said that we can only edit class 12 marks once we have submitted our fees. Is there a possibility of changing our other details once we have fixed our form or submitted the fees for the form?
I think Professor Gupta will better answer. He's with us, fortunately. So I would request him to answer this question. I think that will be better. Professor Gupta, sir, आप करेंगे तो ज़्यादा अच्छा रहेगा. Hema, could you repeat the question?
No, I think I was here only. So, we will be, University of Delhi will notify that the edit window very soon, and we will inform what are the places which are editable. But as per the last year's practice, let me clarify that, the name, date of birth, and category, and the gender, some of these things cannot be changed, and also email address and the mobile number, because these are the basic data set on which registration process works. So in case students have made mistake in their parents' name, in the residential address, in some other places, for example, if they have not picked certain courses or something, yes, obviously the fee structure will also change. So those will be provided an option, but then remember that category, name, the phone number, mobile number, email addresses, and date of birth, and the certainly the gender. These categories cannot be changed, because one has to understand that someone may say that I by mistake I have put not male but the female, but then we have some institutions which are specific to those genders. So then what actually happens is it disturbs the whole the process of registration. So certain fields will not be allowed to edit. But then university will notify, the admission branch will notify, the guidelines about editing very soon. But, that's what I said, in the beginning, all of you have a lot of time. Students who are with us, you have time till 31st of August. Spend time about reading instructions. Spend time about bulletin of information. Prepare a checklist. Then you go ahead and do the registration process. So you will not make mistake, because suddenly there may be an issue that you have made some a mistake which cannot be corrected. So we don't want unnecessarily you to suffer. So make sure that you have read everything before you start the registration process.
So one query that has come up, which says that how many times can we shuffle our admission between different lists? I think it's a concern about how many times do they cancel and they shift to a different college.
Well, as per the policy is if University of Delhi declares n number of lists, then they are eligible for n-1 changes. But then, remember that all University of Delhi colleges are good. So many colleges are coming in the NIRF ranking, India Today ranking. So why you think that certain college is not good? I think my suggestion would always be listen to your heart. As far as subject is concerned, first preference and the foremost important preference is your subject. All our colleges are identical. Do not distinguish. For us, these are our kids. University will not have any difference or distinction or differentiation between any of the colleges. So colleges are good. Listen to your heart as far as selection of the subject is concerned.
Right. Sir, is there any update regarding the tentative time for the entrance examinations?
Yes. So entrance examinations would be conducted by National Testing Agency, NTA. The dates which they have given is from 26th of September to 1st of October. The actual schedule about various examinations will be declared very soon. It has been communicated to NTA. Once they check it, I think within a week time it will be declared.
Hema, I think we should wind up here. And what we can do is we can ask the student to email us. We'll answer all their queries. Right?
Right.
So, all right. They can email us. Sir is also busy. Right. So,
yes,
I know sir schedule is very tight. Professor Gupta's schedule is very tight. Right. So, I think we should stop here. And we'll provide our email. You please tell our email address and we'll answer all the queries of the students.
All right, sir. I think it was a pretty brainstorming discussion and event that we've had, and we've tried to cover as many questions as possible. For those questions that are left unanswered, we'll be just dropping our mail in the chat box. Please mail your queries over there, and we'll try and answer those questions as soon as possible. Just one statement that I would want to make with the permission of the House. There have been a lot of questions that were talking about percentage regarding for admission in different courses. It's a request. Please reflect onto previous year's cutoffs once. It is a wise call to do that, to look into where do you stand per se, at least in the previous year cutoff. Second thing, as Sir said, please don't be disheartened with the first cutoff. And third thing, wherever you're getting the admission, please do take that and then try and reshuffle to a different college if you're getting it. That does really cover up a lot of questions that we got. Also, for some of the subject requirements, it's a request. Please look at the different colleges have put up their information bulletin on their individual websites, as well as DU has published their own bulletin of information. It's a request that you please go through that, because they have already listed out as to what subject would require what minimum eligibility criteria and what subjects are mandatory to apply, which are mandatory so that you could apply further. With this, sir, can we conclude and move to conclude this session, please?
Please.
Yeah, certainly, I think I'm thankful to the principal as well as the college team for, inviting me over here, and certainly enjoyed talking to aspirants who are interested to join DU. Professor Agarwal, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It's really our privilege to have your company. and your time.
Certainly, anytime.
Geeta, really, we are thankful to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Propose vote of thanks.
Yes, I would now request my colleague Shikha to please propose the vote of thanks and call it off for the day.
Thank you, Hema. Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. Greetings of the day. I, Dr. Shikha Narang, take this opportunity to finally conclude the event with the presentation of vote of thanks to one and all present here for making this event a huge success. I would like to begin by thanking our speakers of the day, Professor Valdaram Pani, Dean of Colleges, University of Delhi, Professor Rajiv Gupta, Chairperson, Admissions, Professor Geeta Bhatt, Director, NC Web. It was truly an enlightening experience listening to each one of you. We thank you for gracing the occasion with your words of wisdom and guiding a large set of audience through the clarification of their doubts and issues. It has indeed been an honor to have you all on board with us. Before I proceed ahead, I would want to thank someone without whom this event would not have been possible. He is none other than our principal, sir, Professor Vipin Kumar Agarwal. Sir, this college has scaled new heights under your mentorship. Despite the ongoing pandemic, our college was not deterred and kept moving forward on the path of learning and imparting knowledge. Thank you, sir, for being a pillar of support for us. Today's event would not have been possible without your constant guidance and enthusiasm. Thank you once again. I would now like to thank every member of the organizing team who worked diligently day in and day out to make this event a huge success. The first and the most basic element of our success story is IQAC coordinator, Professor Sangeeta Kaul. Ma'am, there is little doubt in the fact that this whole event would not have surfaced and taken this fine shape today. Thank you so much for your relentless efforts to guide us through this roadmap of the preparations. With this, let me also acknowledge that our webinar coordinator, Professor Meeta Mathur, has been another pillar of support throughout the event. She was just a phone call away if any member faced any roadblock or difficulty. Thank you so much, Sangeeta ma'am and Meeta ma'am. It has always been an honor for us to work under your guidance. Next, I would like to reinstate that this whole program would not have been possible without our audience, who, with their continuous efforts, questions, and interaction, stayed gripped with the event. I am sure most of you are all geared up towards the online admission processes lined up ahead. So with this, I thank you one and all present here for gracing the occasion with your presence and making it a huge success. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am, can we end the session?
Yes, and please give the email ID.
Ma'am, email ID has been dropped in the chat box. Also, I request you all to please note that mail ID.
And also mention that they should mention in the subject this is regarding...
yeah, ma'am, I've written it as admission 21-22 query. It says the mail ID is there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Shall we end the meeting?